Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am happy to have you back. Today we're going to talk about something I saw on these YouTube streets. This video is about 3 years old, maybe 2. It is a Vice video, and I'm going to put up some clips. It's about ED. You know how guys are always talking about how women hit the wall when they're past 30. They have become cat ladies. They're essentially leftovers. But we're not talking about other issues, which is the fact that there's so many guys that are bringing something to the table, but it's not the D. So let's look at these clips real quick and I'll come back with my commentary.
Dips in, about to get down to business, and my dick was asleep. In my head, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like, shit, it's never happened before. So that's the reason why I started taking it more. And I got a bad dick report one time. Tell me that wouldn't fuck you up, just slightly.
I'm still disappointed in the trash dick I got yesterday.
Bro, I was actually shaking. And then she sent another one.
Oh my God, you're so tight. First of all, we didn't do enough for.
No, for real though, a lot of guys aren't really putting in the work with the foreplay. They haven't studied a woman's body. They just think, oh, I'm a man and I have this thing and that's enough to make her get so excited for me. You know, a lot of guys have this problem because they're not even getting to know the girl that they're dealing with. They're just thinking, oh, as a man, I should just want body parts. Body parts will do. That's all I need. And I think that men discount themselves and they actually do a disservice to themselves by not getting to know the women that they're hooking up with. They just simply think, okay, a body part is enough.
So I was like, okay, I don't really like this feeling. How can I avoid it from happening? I wasn't going into any pharmacy and asking for Viagra. Firstly, the confidence I had, hell, I'll be so embarrassed. And secondly, they would be looking at me like, you're obviously lying. You're a young man. What the hell do you need it for? It's very easy to get. So I just Googled it. Look at this website right here, Hims. I think they're quite cynically targeting people my age or Gen Z or whatever.
Okay, so he says it's very easy to get. And it's true. I have seen throughout my life guys of all ages, I mean 16 and up, guys when I was in high school were taking these. They were getting it from the 7-Eleven or from the Indian clerk at the corner. They would just go and get it at the bodega like it was nothing. And now they can't do anything without using this. You know what's crazy is that you will end up hooking up with a guy that you think is so into you, that is having so much fun. He is so ready for you. Okay, his thing is bouncing for you. But in reality, he just took a pill. It's not all him. It's not all him. And it's not even your fault. Girl, it's not even your fault. It's just he lacks confidence and he hasn't taken the steps to get to know you. The dude is so insecure. But okay, let's move forward with the next video.
Little pet names as well. Last up to 36 hours. Big man, we know which one we're getting, dude. There's a 36-hour Viagra. What the fuck?
I can't imagine what that does to a man's body. 36 hours with hardcore stimulation and circulation down there. And what would happen if that blood flow doesn't stop? We'll be finding this out.
Necessary. In my current state, I actually don't even have ED, whether that causes a psychological problem down the line or even health risks. Basically, I've been taking Cialis and I don't have erectile dysfunction.
And why have you been taking it?
Just as a way that I'm sure that I can get up when I'm about to have sex.
Now, the problem when you're going to take a pill to help you with your erections is that you will be dependent on these pills for the rest of your life. And so it's almost like you're dependent on something when you don't really need it. What you're describing seems to me.
But they're doing it because they're not establishing deep connections with these women. They're doing it because they're not establishing deep connections with these women. That's the truth. They aren't trying to get to know her. They don't care about none of that. They just see body parts, let's go. And then when it's time to go, they can't go.
Like performance anxiety rather than a physical weak erection. Or actually what's probably happening to you is that each time you are with your partner, you are expecting failure.
In my head, I've been thinking that girls would expect me to fuck them like a porn star and that last hours in bed.
Have you spoken to your partners about what they want? Why don't you?
And the reason you think women expect you to put it down like a porn star is because whatever you're watching on your downtime, whatever website you're going to see booty clapping sounds, you are projecting that on the women. And yeah, there may be some stereotypes, you know, in society. Certain type of men from this type of demographic, they must be the type to put it down, right? I get that. But you can't put this on the women. It's on you. It's on you that you are taking something that could potentially destroy your health and blaming it on the women. It's just, I love it. You see how it always turns around? It's let's blame the women. It's her expectations that's making me feel like I need to take this.
Try speaking to your partner about what she expects from you.
Are there any risks involved other than like the psychological dependency?
The other problem that can happen is priapism, which is a prolonged...
You see how he passes right through that? He just like talks about something. Are there psychological problems behind it? Y'all just don't like talking to your partners. You like to bed women without getting to know them. And then when you have to talk about something real, you can't talk about it because you're too scared. You're too ashamed. You're already making up scenarios in your head about what she actually thinks about you.
Erection lasting more than 6 hours. The problem when you have this prolonged erection is that there's no active circulation, so there's not enough oxygenated blood reaching these tissues. The smooth muscles of the penis begin to die and scar, and therefore you can permanently develop genuine weak erection with scarring and shrinking of the penis.
And one last thing, like, what the hell is this?
This is a penile implant or penile prosthesis, and it's used to treat men with physical weak erection.
The doctor starts showing him like what happens next, which is like you'll have to get a pump and this silicone type of device inside of you in order to be able to perform. Okay, before we get there, again, men are not having the real conversation. It's like, why are you taking this? You're under 30. And there's a lot of men under 30 taking this. They're not telling you. You're thinking you're having the best night of your life. They're not telling you that they're taking Viagra. Just to do the bare minimum. Just to give you those same 3 lame positions, they're taking Viagra for those 3 lame positions. Let's be honest, a lot of these dudes aren't doing no acrobatics because they're so out of shape and they're not even eating right. So let's not get me started. And this is in the UK. What's happening in the United States is the same thing. The same guys that are saying you hit the wall when you hit 30 or 40 years old are the same guys that before the age of 40, they can't get it up. Okay? Here's a group of young men, fairly attractive, average, telling you guys that they can't get it up or they're using it for whatever reasons, okay?
So put your hand up if you've taken Viagra. Who here would like to get to a point where they don't have to take Viagra anymore? So yeah, what's your name? What's your story?
Hi, I'm Samora, and I've been using Viagra, well, sporadically, I would say, for about 2 years. I was going through a bit of a sort of like an underconfident spell, to be honest. Because of that, your mind then goes on to the fact that you can't perform. When it starts to happen more frequently, that's when it starts to become like, all right, shit, like this is happening more often than I thought it would.
My name's Jason. Hey, everyone.
Did you think that you would not have off days as a human being? You're not a damn robot. A lot of you guys think you're invincible, that you guys are robots, you guys are sex machines. You guys have seen these videos on your hubs for so long that you really think you're that dude in that video who actually has to inject himself with something in order to continue. It is a job what they're doing. Whether you think it's a moral job or not, doesn't matter. The point is that you're projecting. You're hoping that whatever this guy in that video is doing, you're doing the exact same thing. And you're not. 9 times out of 10, you're not.
So I take Viagra just recreationally when I'm combining it with chemsex. So like meeting guys and Mandy, Drone, T, just those things where you just know, you preempt that you're not going to be able to get it up. So you've got to pop a Bluey.
Oh, and you know what? There's so many guys that do hard drugs, and the hard drugs that they do is causing them all these problems. They're doing these things and knowing that they may be in a situation where they might have to perform, and so they take these supplements or they take these pills and they'll mix. It's like they're crossing their highs. They're mixing these drugs together and then wondering why their body is so battered up by the time they're 45 and they can't even please that 19-year-old that gave him the time of day because he was ready to trick off that day.
My name's Luke. I did Viagra once as a bit of an experiment, and it was really exciting. It's like, it vibrates. That's incredible. I've never, you know, that sense of it looks the same size, but a little bit bigger. It's really weird.
Hello, my name is Dima. I do bodybuilding and as well as now take Viagra because as taking steroids, you have some side effects of you needing to take Viagra when you cannot perform.
So I'm Ricardo, and I was seeing a girl that I met on Tinder. She had such...
And this guy, the bodybuilder guy, that's why when a guy tells me he's a bodybuilder, or when a girl says, oh, my man's a bodybuilder, I know she's not getting the D. I am not attracted to bodybuilders, especially because of that. Shit, I remember meeting a bodybuilder a long time ago. He was so fine. He was taking testosterone and... Was it testosterone? No, it was steroids. He was taking steroids, and because he was taking so much of it, he had to get ED pills. Yeah, I had to ghost that guy because the level of anger he had towards his own body because it couldn't perform. It could perform in the gym, but when it came to the bedroom, it couldn't. He would have meltdowns at restaurants over me looking at the freaking server. Like, dude, it's not my fault you couldn't put it down and now I can't ask for my Sprite without ice. Like, what?
high sex drive, and I couldn't match that, and I felt like I had to take Viagra. I felt like I'd then set the bar really high.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm either going to take this for life and just never tell her and have loads of great sex, or I should just stop taking it and just call that a good night.
Oh yeah, so I'm Jamil, and I was in a relationship, and my partner actually committed suicide, and it left me like just riddled with all kinds of insecurities.
See, I understand that. Like when something significant and traumatic happens in your life where you don't feel yourself and you can't perform, I get that. That normal. That I understand that you're taking this because your mind is somewhere else. And it's really mostly on the pain or on these memories that you can't forget. And in his case, you know, his partner did that. I get it.
But I was like, well, kept popping the pills, the Viagra, being like, it's fine. And it's just like a little plaster really on a big open wound, like never actually addressed the underlying issues. Actually taking it, like it kind of hurt inside a bit. I was like, I should be able to do this. Right? This is what young men should do.
Exactly.
Because we're programmed to, that is the primary function, the biological function is to be able to get hard and have sex. So having had loads of issues around sexuality and intimacy.
The fact that that is the primary programming of a man, I mean, at least for women, girls, this is the primary function, the primary thing men are taught. Like, if you can't do this, you're nothing. That's what they're teaching guys. Okay, this is how men have been brought up. And they don't even value their own body parts. For them to take something so dangerous. And listen, I don't want to say that it's dangerous, but take something that they don't need, because it's like taking any type of medication. If you don't need it, it's not going to do you any good.
See, there's just so much to be said for working out these things through therapy.
And it's like, even when you're going through shit and you can get it up, you've then got to deal with the issue of premature ejaculation.
Oh, somebody mentioned therapy, thank God. Yeah, that is, I mean, at least someone said it, because if it's up to them. And I have some health report here. Health report from Sexual Health Healthline. Yes, developing ED increases with age, but it looks to me like 52% of men experience this before the age of 40, or what is it? Okay, so it says here, is often cited by experts in discussions of prevalence. Even though the research is older, the study found that around 52% of men experience some form of ED, and a total of ED increases about 5 to 15% between the ages of 40 and 70. And these guys say they want to get married in their 60s and 70s. I hope you have the best prescription, because you guys want to run around and say you guys want younger women, but I hear over and over from younger women that y'all just not putting it down. That's why that show Desperate Housewives was a thing. That's why they were always running around with some little young dude. Okay? You know those stories about women messing around with the garden boy or the pool boy? Maybe you guys stopped putting those stories out there because it started making you guys look bad, but that's very common. Because a lot of you old cats want to get with young chicks and y'all thing isn't working. Stop telling women they're going to hit the wall where you can't hit her G-spot. Please stop. Because a lot of y'all are lying to each other. Yeah, bro. I killed it last night. No, you killed that nap. Okay? That's what you did. You didn't do anything. Yeah, I did damage last night. No, you did damage to your heart and your circulation. That's what you did, sir.
Drinking due to my anxiety medication. Anyway, I'm at the party, I meet a nurse, I took him home. Turns out he was quite into giving people erection enhancing injections. I wasn't a big fan of the idea, but I was drunk and I thought, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, worst decision of my life.
And reasons that you can get ED is because of alcohol use, illicit drug use, smoking, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, blocked blood vessels, obesity, metabolic syndrome, some medications such as blood pressure medications, sleep disorders, scar tissue inside of the peen, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, anxiety, stress, depression. Didn't one of those guys, relationship issues, didn't one of those guys mention he has anxiety? We're always talking about how women got anxiety. They're hitting the wall. And before you know it, by the time that they're 30, 40 years old, they're going to have cats and just taking prescription medications. Yeah, well, look at that guy. Took prescription medication, went to a bar, decided to pop a ED pill. And now his junk is completely destroyed. Yeah. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, because I need to hear what y'all think. Be honest, guys. Stop lying to these young chicks. Stop lying to everybody. Stop lying to the young ones, the old ones, the in-between ones. Stop. Most of y'all not taking care of your health, not eating right, not exercising, don't know how to release stress, don't know how to cope properly. Y'all not getting therapy. Y'all haven't healed from those horrible breakups. And most men start getting brain inflammation after the third breakup. After the third woman that dumped you, you start getting inflammation in the brain. Okay? All right, that's all I have for this video. The stress. Check you out on the next one. Y'all see the depression in my eyes? Like, y'all, stop the lies. All right, you guys. Peace out.
50 and over. What do you have to say, Doc?
Absolutely false. Erectile dysfunction affects guys as young as 20.
Wow.
The one thing to note is, if you are experiencing erectile dysfunction at a young age, first of all, it's very normal. I see guys, 5 to 10 guys, almost every single day who are experiencing erectile dysfunction under the age of 35. But the key is, you want to see somebody, because rather than taking Cialis and Viagra long term, taking these medications, identify what the problem is. Once you identify the problem, you can create a good long-term solution so you don't have to be dependent on medications for the erectile dysfunction.
Got it. And what are some of the underlying factors that can contribute to a guy in his 20s or 30s dealing with an issue like erectile dysfunction?
Most of the time for young guys, it's in the head, right? It's we call it psychogenic erectile dysfunction, where it's more stress and anxiety associated with it, where everything hormonally, blood flow, health-wise, all these things are fine, everything is working fine. But the one thing, when you're stressed and you have anxiety associated with your erections, that could create a lot of problems, and that's usually the main issue for young guys under the age of 35.
Fellas, if you are on the younger side and you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, you're not alone, but it is critical to seek out the advice of a urologist who can help you work through potential solutions.